Hey guys, it's Panther. I'm a Challenger Renekton one-trick on the NA server, and today I actually wanted to show you guys how you could abuse ranged matchups on Renekton. A lot of the time, if you blind pick Renekton, players will pick something like Jace, or Victor, or Quinn, or Teemo, something ranged to try and abuse you and not allow you to be that lane bully that you often see Renekton is. I wanted to show you guys how to play into these ranged champions and actually still stomp them. However, this does require a bit of setup. Now, the first thing you need to make sure you are getting right happens before the game even starts. It's runes. You want to be running Conqueror, Triumph, Legend Bloodline, Coup, Taste of Blood, and Ravenous Hunter. Now, each one of these runes serves a purpose. Most of it is geared towards healing, however, some of it is like Triumph and Coup are geared towards team fighting and killing multiple enemies. A big mistake that a lot of Renekton players will make is they will actually run Bone Plating or Second Wind in the Resolve tree. You don't want that. The Resolve tree is not a dominant tree. It's not a tree that rewards aggression. You want to be aggressive as possible and really abuse these mistakes that these ranged players are making as much as possible. And if you take the domination tree, you're able to do that. However, if you take the Resolve tree, you're really not able to do anything with it, and you're just going to be conceding your lane and relying on other players. Now, with all that being said, there's a second thing you need to keep in mind. Into range, you actually want to be starting E. A lot of players will start Q or W, but keep in mind the Q heal at level 1 is pretty meaningless, and you're never going to get your W off on a ranged champion. E is the way to go here, especially with Taste of Blood. It's actually going to heal you more if you just E and get an auto off than if you Q a few minions. All that being said, let's take a look at how I play this specific lane. I'm confident that I can win it, so I want to make sure I'm not getting cheesed. Now, on the first wave, you don't really need to worry about getting all of the last hits. The most important thing is try to get a chunk off on the enemy top laner and make sure that you're getting that Taste of Blood proc, that 23 HP heal, and back off. That's it. You don't need to worry about getting the CS. You can just, as long as you get EXP, you're fine. Another thing is don't let your Fury decay. I see a lot of players here that'll just stand in the brush and allow their Fury to decay, and they will not have any kill pressure because they don't have any Fury. It's okay to take an auto just to make sure that your Fury stays up. Now, all that being said, I'm getting close to level 2 here, so I want to go over the level 2 all in. So you see me dash in and drop my empowered ability, ignite, and kill him. I want to go over that one more time a little bit slower and explain the exact combo and every input that I do here for you though, because it is very important that you don't miss any of these inputs. I hit 2. As soon as I hit 2, I dash on him. I auto, I dash again, I auto W, that's an empowered W, it's a long stun, auto, ignite, flash, auto, and that's it. That is the exact input chain that you need to be doing. This is the highest damage at level 2 that Renekton can possibly have, paired with CC, and it will 100-0 pretty much any champion in the game, especially ranged champions, which are a little bit squishier on average. After the kill, I just want to push in the lane. However, once I see his teleport, this changes things. Now, I know that since I solo killed him, the next minion will give me level 3. I know that if I solo kill somebody, it will take me 2 less minions to get level 3. So this changes things. I want to chunk him out as much as I can. I want to make sure that he's not really able to stay in lane long and use that teleport advantage all too well, and that he'll have to base and match my base. This will give me an EXP lead and completely waste his TP. I go for the level 3 and I all in him. Level 3 does change the all-in a bit, so I want to slow this one down as well and show you exactly how to do it. As soon as I see him teleport on the wave, I see that's a mistake and I push for level 3. Now, with level 3, you still want to be using your empowered W. However, it changes things a little bit. So I dash in, I drop empowered W, and then I dash right away before queuing. A lot of players will queue and then dash. That's not right. You want to dash first and make sure that you can get an empowered Q if possible. Now that he's chunked out, I just want to finish shoving the wave and then base. On your first base, you will be getting either 2 longswords or a full Tiamat. I always start longsword so that I can get Tiamat faster, but some people start Doran's Blade. It's really up to personal preference. It doesn't really matter. Both will allow for a lot of aggression. So at this point, I'm back in the lane. I want to look for level 4 before I all in again. So my biggest concern, just to get level 4. Level 4 is a pretty big power spike for Renekton. So one of the things that Renekton is actually fantastic at is fighting in large waves of minions. So the reason behind this is Renekton's Q will actually heal more for each target that it hits. And on top of that, if it's not empowered, it will also increase Fury Gen for each target it hits. Same with his E. It will increase Fury for the more targets it hits. This means that if you are fighting in a wave that is large, you can use empowered Q to heal, or you can use unempowered Q to generate a lot of Fury, get an empowered W off. You can dash through the wave to get a lot of Fury. It's really up to you to how you manipulate your Fury, but in a large wave, you will be seeing a lot of success. Just make sure you hit all the minions with your ability, otherwise you will take a beating. So here, I want to dash into him, drop my auto W. I make a bit of a mistake here. I don't get my second E off, but that's it. Now, here's what I was talking about. That trade will be completely meaningless for him because, watch what I'm about to do. I have empowered Q. That's 156 HP. I want to be using empowered Qs anytime I'm under like half HP or so to heal up. As you see there, at this point I just want to shove in. I assume that he based at this point, so I want to shove in, deny him a few minions. Now that I hit level 4, I can proxy. At level 4 and level 5 is when you want to look to proxy. So there is a few things that you need to do before you can proxy. First thing you have to do is you need to drop this ward. This is the most important ward to you as a proxy champion. You need to make sure that you are not 1v2ing. If you are 1v2ing behind a tower, you're probably going to die. It's not going to go well for you. Make sure you know where their mid laner is, and you have to be confident that you can get away from their jungler. So for example, if it's a Camille or a Rek'Sai or a Lee Sin, you're not going to be able to get away from that very easily. You shouldn't be proxying at level 5. However, in this case, it's a Trundle. It's not very mobile, and Victor isn't also a very mobile champion. So I am very safe to proxy at this point because I know that I can get away from them if they jump onto me. Also, if they come one at a time, I can kill them and get an even larger golden EXP advantage, as long as I use empowered W. Remember, empowered W early is the most important thing. So I just want to sit here, hit the minions, and you'll see that Trundle actually comes up in a second here. My Q is still on cooldown, so I drop 2 autos first, then I Q. And as soon as I see that Fury bar turn red, I drop my empowered W, and I finish him off. It's as easy as that. Now, the reason I'm cutting into the wave here is because I want to heal as much as possible. I know that if I fight him in the wave, first of all, I will instantly kill the backline creeps with just an auto and Qs, and I will heal for a lot more HP. So his wave is actually safer for me than being away from any waves. I know that I'm going to hit level 6 here in a second, so I kind of delay it a little bit, wait for my minions to get closer to the tower, and then I'm going to go. Now, in order to dive, you need to make sure of 2 things. First of all, that ward, still very important. If you don't know where people are, you shouldn't be diving. Aside from that, the 2 things that you need to make sure is if they have any damage reduction or shielding abilities, those need to be on cooldown. And if they have any stuns, those need to be on cooldown. Stuns and CC need to be on cooldown before you can successfully dive. Otherwise, there is room for outplay. You want to completely negate any room for outplay if possible. You're going to see me just run at this player and try and get him to use his spells on me. That's the best way to do it. If you run at a player, they will use their abilities on you. Most players will not just hold their abilities. I'm just going to run at him. There goes his shield. Going to run at him some more. There goes his W. And now I can look for the all-in. Now, this all-in has a lot of inputs. Auto, R, W, Ignite, Auto, E, and then Q. It is a relatively quick combo. I'll play it for you again in full time so you can see just how fast it is. So it's something that you're going to have to get used to and practice. But once you have it down, it is a very, very good combo to dive if you need upfront Fury. So now that I've killed him, I just want to auto it once to get the plate and base. I can just base at the tower to get my Tiamat. That is a must-have. I want to get boots. That is a must-have. And I want to start either building a Yomu's Ghost Blade or a Blade of the Ruined King. Personally, Blade of the Ruined King is my favorite because it gives you sustain on minions on top of the Bloodline stacks that you already have and the Ravenous Hunter stacks. Makes you able to proxy pretty much infinitely. Nobody comes to stop you, and you can deny a lot of EXP there if nobody comes to bail out their top laner. So at this point, I'm looking to extend the lane and kill the Victor as many times as possible. This is something that I want to touch on briefly. The bigger the wave, the more fury you're able to generate from zero. So you'll see me do something which is kind of weird. I dash and Q right away without even attempting to stun first. I dash Q and then dash again. I save my stun for last. A lot of people will lead with stun. The reason that I'm doing this specific combo is I want to make sure I'm getting Empowered W. Again, I cannot reiterate enough times. Empowered W is the highest damage that you have. At this point, I just want to push proxy and stop him from even being able to get close to the tower. I know that I can probably 1v2 Trundle and Victor as long as I don't misplay anything, and I just want my bot lane to make sure they're staying safe and living, so everyone's sitting down there. This is looking like a fantastic game for me. Now you can see Victor can't even walk up to me. He can't walk anywhere close to me. We saw him walk into that brush down below me just a little bit ago. Now that I have Cutlass Lifesteal, I'm just sitting on 100 Fury and 100% HP. Now that he walked up like this under his tower, I can just 100 to 0 him. Again, I make sure the W comes out first, let him Q, and then drop the all-in. This time I didn't want to dash because I knew his flash was up, so I just dropped Empowered Q right away. That way he isn't able to get away from me. I can save my dash to dash after him as he flashes. Now that we see the TP come down, I want to look to dive him again before he hits level 6. So this time, since I waited twice for his W to come out, I just went right away. I didn't think he would use it again. It's a bit of a mind game. That's something you're going to have to get used to. At this point, I want to finish my Bork and get a BF Sword if possible. BF Sword will start building into either GA or Spear of Sojin, depending on the game. If they could kill you, then GA is always a good option to get early, but Spear of Sojin really allows you to succeed in 1v2s and 1v3s. It's something that is kind of core on Renekton at the moment. So there isn't too much left for the Victor to do. He pretty much doesn't have any way to survive me at this point. His flash is down. I've just dove him 3 times in a row. So at this point, he needs help from his jungler. So I should be watching out that their jungler is going to come top. So I'm playing very safe at the moment. I don't know where their jungler is. However, I do make a huge misplay here. I get stunned under the tower. This is what I was talking about earlier. If you get stunned under the tower, you are going to die. This is what you don't want to do. You do not want to play like that. That was very reckless of me. I didn't even know where their jungler was. I think I was just getting a little bit impatient, and yeah, it happens. So at this point, my bot lane is getting smashed. So I want to break myself out of this lane as soon as possible and just try and push and exert even more pressure because their jungler isn't coming top at all. So again, I'm up on the tower, so I want to place that ward. That ward is so important. I'm just going to sit here and allow the cannon to auto me so that I keep Fury until the next wave comes. And then I see him on the ward, so I dash. I use both my dashes to dodge the stun this time, and then I just combo normally. Drop, auto, W, Tiamat, Q. I'll show you slow motion how that combo looks. I auto, E, and then I E again to dodge the stun. I W, Tiamat, auto, Q. It's a pretty fast combo, nothing very hard about it. Just make sure you're masking your W animation with Tiamat. I just want to break free of the lane here. My bot lane's really been struggling, so I want to end laning phase and extend my lead to the rest of the game here. That's that. That's how you abuse a ranged versus melee matchup as Renekton. A lot of ranged players have never seen this style of Renekton played before, so you'll definitely be able to pull it off into a lot of different players, and hopefully you see some success with it. It does take some practice. Renekton combos will not come instantaneously to you, but once you get the combos down, the laning should come very naturally to you.